This was a year of
We're going to look at one amateur game from 1918. That's what we're doing today.
Nice.
Also, it's not a pro game.
Oh,
Well, one of the players is going to be a really important pro,
Okay.
but he's not a pro yet.
Okay.
100 years ago.
100 years ago.
That's a good one.
Hey, there you
I like that.
100 years
I'm really
A-go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100 years ago.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, I was looking for the go pun and you just...
I kind of refuse to use go puns.
It's too late now. I feel like we've locked it in. It's already recording.
Oh, I don't want go puns.
Definitely can't edit this part out.
Tough. Suck it up.
All right, so here's what I have. I was just thinking, about Go, as one is wont to do. And I was like, damn, it's like, 2018, we got these robots playing Go. What about the good old days of just like, when you'd actually just like sit down at a board and play a game with like pieces of stones? Wouldn't that be cool? Wasn't that something?
What a time.
What a time. What a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive.
And there was no professional grades of Go, so everything's a lot more relaxed and calm.
Well, there were professional grades of Go. There were titles, there were things.
Oh.
But certainly the modern professional system, doesn't exist, right? There's an entirely different thing happening. And so I just went on my iPad here. I went onto the Smart Go Kifu app, which if you have an iPad, you should pay the $20 and just get immediately. Like, there's no reason not to have it because it's amazing. Anyone have an iPad? You guys do these things? Wow, okay. Well, here, now you have a reason to buy an iPad. There's a really awesome Go app for it. It's not an Android, and we want it ported for Android so badly. But anyway, different story. And I just, when I can just search Go games by year. It's got like 90,000 Go games in it. I was like, oh, let's see what's going on in 1918. And so I just looked at a few of the games, and one of the players' names I knew. And the name was Hashimoto Utaro, who you guys probably don't know the name. But he was actually the founder of the Kansai Kien. So you guys might have heard of like the Nihon Kien, the Kansai Kien, right? These sort of, now historical Japanese Go associations, like the big schools, you'd have, your Nihon Kin players versus the Kansai Kin players, the top pros of the day. And so, Hashimoto Utaro founded one of these schools. And so in 1918, there's actually has a bunch of his games from around this time period, from before he was a professional. And so I was like, oh, that's cool. Let's, just sort of take a look at some of these. So I thought, with all the robots and things that are flying around on the board today, I was like, yeah, let's just go back to 1918 and see let's play some Go. Does that just like warm your hearts, like bring you all back home? It's like chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do you think invented kerosene back then?
Is that? Well, I know, and the other big news, if you guys watch Haley's channel, right? And obviously, if you're watching this online, this happened a couple weeks ago because I'm lazy and don't get this video online in a timely fashion. Haley lost to a robot.
Oh, I saw her play that on OGS.
Yeah, the AQ engine,
Huh.
Anyway, so that's a big deal. And we're going to a time without robots, where there's just people, man.
As far as we know.
Okay. All right, so in this game, Hashimoto Utaro is white. His opponent I've never heard of, Makewa Ichiro. I'm assuming is some other really strong amateur player. Is black, and that's all I know. Hashimoto Utaro also had one of the longest Go careers. So about 4 years after this game, he became professional. It took him a number of years, quite a long time to reach 9-dan professional. But then he did, founded this big, great Go school and Go association. Really became one of the sort of fathers of 20th century Go, right? Just in terms of the number of people that he taught and the number of people that came up through the Kansai Kien. We're talking about a pretty significant force who shaped Go in the 20th century. Well, here he is. He's very young in this game. This is him as a basically adolescent teenager. He right around, I'm not sure exactly what age, probably maybe 12, 13.
Would it explain the brashness of playing on the 4-4 plane?
Maybe.
This wasn't done in 1918 yet.
Yeah. I mean, this is still a pretty hip move. Although Chinese, the Chinese players, this move's actually more historical, right, and dates back much longer. But I think you're going to see a few things that will surprise you, but also aren't too surprising. Like I do feel like these two players are just playing Go. Like this isn't that far off from like a game today. And that's the thing that kind of warms my heart, makes me feel cool, like connected. It's like Go is just Go. Like no matter where you go and no matter when you go, right? Go is still Go. Black Laser. Okay. You know, hey, it's a little like, you can still play this today. It's a little, it's eccentric, right? All right. How let's move.
It's cropped up in a couple of my games recently.
Yeah, Moku Hazushi, right? The Japanese name for 5-3. This used to be much more common. And this move actually goes back a couple hundred years, right? In terms of its historical playability. Rarely played today, right? This is seen as very inferior. It's giving up way too much of the corner. But if you want to be eccentric, it's good. It's also really good if your opponent heavily emphasizes one side of the board. And guess what Black has already done? Black's like, I'm building this. By the way, I'm putting a wall here, I'm putting a wall here. That's how I'm going to play this game. And so how does White disrupt? Pushes the stone further away from the corner, closer to reducing this influence already. So this move, like even though this is eccentric, this still makes sense today. Like I think if this is a modern Go game and you played here, people go like, oh yeah, that's brilliant. Right? It just naturally disrupts what your opponent is emphasizing. Black. Oh.
Didn't AlphaGo do something like that?
Probably. I don't know every AlphaGo game. I don't know how many times it's played a 5-3 stone.
I thought maybe I remember someone mentioning this.
It's possible. Yeah. Well, this would be the case where you would play it. Black is still playing a little eccentrically. In this case, you could say Black doesn't quite have the same justification for playing a 5-3, other than just to be
Stubborn.
yeah, just to,
I can play 5-3 point too.
yeah, haha. Sure. But if you go back to like Shusaku, in his day, players liked this very much because they saw this shape as sort of being the ultimate, right? The end all be all. This is what you want in the corner. And so it doesn't really matter if you start with this stone or you start with this stone, right? In the end, you're striving to make the same shape.
But this way, maybe Black was thinking this guy's stronger than me, and if I do it this way, we have mirror go.
This isn't really mirror go, right?
Well, I'm saying in the lower part of the board, though, it's like whatever he does, I can follow that.
Yeah, but this is a really bad thing to do in Go, right? Because so mirror Go, you're playing on a diagonal, right? And that's a very different situation. When you're mirroring on a single side of the board, that means actually you're going to have this beautifully played out for you, right? If this is what you're thinking, because you're going to be shown how wrong you are.
Okay.
But you don't want to do this because at some point, like if White builds something here and Black builds something here, then whoever plays first will get the key point in between the two areas. And so White was the first one to play down here, so White will get that point. Anyone know any 5-3 Josekis? If your opponent does this, do you know what to do?
One of them, I think, comes in at the just below the 4-4 point.
So the 4-3 point.
Yeah.
Yeah, this point. This is the most common. Any other moves?
You can also do 3-3.
Yeah, you can still just invade here. It's also good. There's a third common response that in general is considered to give up a local loss, but it takes the outside. So
5-4?
Yeah, 5-4. This is the other one. This is where White plays. And I see these as two kind of young players who don't know how to value territory yet. And so everything is just fighting and getting control of the outside is the most important thing in a fight. So I see them just in this game several times. You'll see them naturally value the outside as the most important thing. And even this idea of valuing the outside versus the inside. This is something that even top professionals still struggle with. Like how much do you value each one? There's a few axioms and proverbs. So I've heard a really cool quote. It was basically, I'll try to paraphrase. As you move from Q towards one dan, that entire journey is just learning how to use the outside. As you move from one dan up through the dans and close to professional strength, that's just learning how to accurately count territory. And so, those are sort of like two reflections, right? You get to this point where, okay, you start to appreciate the outside, and you reach this point and go, no, the outside isn't really what gets you the win. The points are what actually wins the game.
Gotta get that cash
And so then you move up from there. And so I kind of see these two players, right, in that stage of their own development where they're emphasizing the outside because this is how they want the play go, right? They've just learned the value of fighting in the outside and having that spirit and that energy, and so that's what they're going to value. If you guys are watching the AlphaGo Master versus AlphaGo Zero, like Michael Redmond commentary, this comes across even on that level. Like if we go back to the computer, I said I wasn't going to talk about computer stuff, but sorry. Right, you see AlphaGo Zero, right? The supposedly better AI who's kicking AlphaGo Master's ass just all over the place. AlphaGo, the master version, continuously values the outside, right? Just like in every altercation, like Master wants to build the outside, and AlphaGo Zero just wants to take territory. And so you even see that, right? You see this duality of like the slightly stronger player or robot values the outside, or values the points just more than the weaker player, which is pretty interesting. Okay, anyway, so white plays here, and this is usually a slight local loss. But again, if you want the outside, it's what you do. Remember how we said black was kind of being a little exuberant? Well,
Yeah. He's mirroring.
it's just like what you wanted.
No, I'm
could
just
not-
saying I anticipated what it's going to do, not what it's good.
Oh, okay. And usually this is bad to mirror, right? Because someone's going to get the outside here, someone's going to get the outside here, and if they play the exact same Joseki, then whoever plays the middle first will have a huge advantage on the side. So white looks at this and goes, okay, I got the first play, I just want to play normal Joseki. I want to give my opponent the outside. Takes the corner. And this is normal. There's a couple of variations here. White can also play here. But this helps take Sente. Or maybe not Sente. Well, you'll see. You'll see. Black has a lot of pressure, so he doesn't get covered up here. So black comes on top. White perfects the formation, so he has the corner, reaching out to the side. Also has a little bit of influence on top of these stones. Normal move for black is to come in around here. Okay, but the problem is if black does that, then white all of a sudden will get to play first in this corner. And remember how I said black's not very reasonable? Black is playing a little cavalier. He's like shooting from the hip. Let's just get into this thing. He plays over here. So white comes down. They play this out again. White makes a shape. You can see how this is going.
Thought maybe we'd gotten away from that.
And if black were to play here, what's going to happen?
White will jump into the middle.
White will take the middle and get a base for himself and no base for black.
But black's smarter than this.
But black is smart. At this point, black is smarter than that. At this point, black's like, I see what you did there. White has to find a way to make use of this.
Yeah.
It's black too. And so black starts this fight. Next move for black.
Cut.
Have to cut. If you're going to make this really ugly shape, you better have a plan. Okay? Like normally, black might just succumb, just say, okay, I back off, I just give you more outside. Maybe even white goes here first. White comes here, white just gets bigger and stronger, presses black down into the corner. No, black. When white attaches here, black refuses to be pushed around, and so black fights. What would you do if you were white? How would you deal with this fight?
Take the other way.
You need to help one of the two groups.
Okay, how do you want to help?
I would probably descend with 2 stones.
So descend like this. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. This liberty is actually really important, though.
Yeah, that's true.
And this is the move that Hashimoto does. This black group, empty triangle, this is ugly. And there's actually a lot of Aji now in that corner. Because black really can't help this, doesn't have time to help the stone at this point. Black would have to come back down here. But even if, whatever happens, with one more move, you can see how weak these two liberties are. Like this is bad news. So black must defend. White immediately takes away this liberty. And black's like, no, I'm happy eating one stone. Super happy about that. Okay, I can not die. Not dying is really good. And now white takes a moment to help these two stones. And a couple things. We definitely want to help these two stones. But white's also not making this exchange. How many of you would look at this and go, oh yeah, I should just take this Atari? Yeah, like, oh look, there's an Atari on the board. Clearly I should take it. So your question is, why isn't white taking that Atari right now?
There's an Atari from the other direction to help take the corner. There's a lot of other moves that you can use, so you want to wait the maximum amount of time that you can to decide.
Absolutely. Not only would you not take, well, there's an Atari here. White could even just play there, right? Like as far as this way. If black tries to cut, right, you can use this Atari this way. Black can't even fill this. Right, this would be self-Atari. Black would have to capture, and then you could do this and do whatever you wanted. You could even Atari this first and then come back and pop out that eye space. So black has to be very careful because of the oops. So white doesn't want to help black. No helping your opponent. Black blocks over here. And again, this move is good, but it still has problems, right? What happens if white plays here? This is not the game. Can black fill this in? Well, he can. But white still eats the corner.
Well, isn't white maybe have a chance of some trouble there if black cuts?
There?
Yeah.
Absolutely, which is why white's not going to play this yet. But white has this in the back pocket. So instead of trying to do, oops, there we go. Instead of trying to make use of this Aji right now, white's going to go back to helping the outside. And the way he does it, I'm not really the biggest fan of. And I'll show you. And this is, I see this game, yes, these players are stronger than I am. I suspect at this point, pretty certain of it. But I think white kind of goes too aggressively after this fight. And there's a couple of missed opportunities we'll show you later on of how white gets into a little bit of trouble. White's going to Atari this way. And Alex is making a face. Why you make face?
Please continue.
Please continue. What's the idea? What do you think white's trying to do here? I mean, do you expect black to Tanuki and white can just capture the stone? And black is going to win. What is white trying to get?
Out.
Out.
Good luck.
Well, here, is white going to come back and just fix the shape?
No.
Unlikely. I mean, with this, if we're just going to come back and fix the shape, it was better not to Atari this. Right, this would be much stronger. So white has something else in mind. And the thing white has in mind is this net. First of all, does this net work?
I guess it depends what you mean by
Yes.
work.
It depends what you mean by work, yes. So the net works. There's no way for black to get out of this net. Net is captured. Black is captured.
Well, it could get a little sticky on the bottom.
Okay. Well, here, go problem. Get black out of this.
If you move to the left, then it puts you in a hurry.
This one? Okay, we can do this.
And then you can cut there, there. And then you can push out.
You can push out this way.
I'm not sure this is good for black, but
Yeah, so yeah, here, let's look. If white does this, you have to take. White can target here. White takes here. All of a sudden, corner is threatened. So you need another move in the corner, probably there. White can live that way. But there's also still this clamp problem, too.
and you've got such delightful shape.
Yeah, if white plays here. This feels pretty good for white. There's still a problem here. These are having some issue. Of course, black has resources available, right? This is still kind of difficult for whites, as here and here. But I think white would be okay with that. So that the net looks good for white that way. But we're not done yet. But wait, kids. But wait. I think that's where we are at. Any other way for black to break out?
You push to the right.
Yeah, you can push this way.
Do all the Ataris.
Do all the Ataris. This is the game.
Sorry, all the things.
Atari? Connect.
Again.
Atari. How about here? What happens here?
Squeeze.
So white blocks rather than
Do we extend or do we block?
I think you can block.
probably block.
This is the Hashimoto Utara move. And we'll show you the result. But the result is very messy. Okay, so when we get to the end of this, I want you to look at white and just go to yourself and go, okay, it looks like white's good. But then you start noticing the cuts and actually how bad the cuts are. If white extends, how would this play out?
Black extends.
Has to extend.
White extend?
White extend.
No, in this case, white hunnies. Liberties, right? Keeping black short on liberties is white's whole goal of this net,
Yeah.
right? So you have to keep doing this. More Ataris, people? More Ataris! Take all the Ataris again.
Gosh.
If black plays here, can't,
Yeah.
have to connect. So white will come around. This is still a little bit of a troublesome point, so maybe black cleans it up. Like
I'd
this.
say black right below that. Yeah, I guess that works, yeah.
This
I'd
one.
say right there.
I don't know what's most efficient, because you want to play a move that also helps this area. I don't know what's best. But you play another move here. You play something there.
What?
Unprecedented.
That's right. But if black plays another move here, actually, I mean, and you could say maybe black doesn't need to play the move yet because black can take some more free stuff. But still, I think black's going to owe a move. Maybe that gives white enough time to clean this up. And that stone's still a little bit of a problem. So maybe white has to clean it up this way. There's a little bit of aji. So this is an okay result, I think. Like it's not. I think it still favors black. Like this is quite a bit of profit. Not a huge amount of profit, but it's profit. And black still has some aji to work with. If this aji goes away, right? If white is able to basically quash all this aji, this wall is worth a lot more than this profit, though. So I think this would be playable for white. Really crude, really direct, really crude, but playable. Just because white doesn't have that aji quashed yet. Let's compare it to the game. All right, so we just took all the Ataris. And you guys are saying, cover black, do the squeeze. The squeezing look like this feels good. Whenever you guys are squeezing in your games, you should feel good, right? Doesn't squeezing, like, that's just fun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, where's this going?
I actually just taught my 1.5-year-old the word squeeze. So you pick him up and you say, squeeze, and you go like this. And he goes, thief. But he likes it.
Just filth.
Oh, yeah. Black played there. He did it in my head, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so now, what do we think? This is what happens if we squeeze and wrap around. How weak is this group?
Real weak.
Yeah, I need help. We're not done here. How weak is white?
If black extends to the right there, Sibicky cut off black stone, has a nice little route down to the other black stone.
Yeah, this is the move that black plays.
Yeah.
You are as strong as Maikawa Ichiro in 1918.
They're lucky, I don't know.
Study all his games.
No, yeah, right.
Yeah. Like how can we help this group while giving us some pressure on white? And
Yeah.
we extend this way. Yeah, that looks a little painful. So white extends. And again, that helps keep the pressure on. Now there's not nearly as much pressure though, right? This exchange, we just had 3 liberties for black. All of a sudden now we have 4. There's a big difference between 3 and 4. Black's saying he's strong enough. 4 liberties is enough to mess around. That's all black needs.
Yeah.
And if we save this stone, if this stone is alive, all of a sudden that means white needs to worry about the life of this group. And these 3 stones are basically just as strong as this whole dumpling shape, which means this is much safer. So this is a really, really important cut. White has this Tetsuji.
Wouldn't it be?
What is white threatening with this move?
I was wondering if
Yeah, white is aiming at this cut again.
I was wondering if it'd be better to go in there first.
But the problem, if you do this cut first, is black does everything. Well, that'll probably take. You'll probably have to come right there. And black immediately plays here. And I don't know who wins the capturing race here, but I suspect it's not white. All right, white can take this entirely. Kind of block here. But 1, 2, 3, 4 liberties for black. Only 3 liberties for white.
And it's black's turn to boot.
Black needs to extend here. Oh yeah, so white, yeah. And it's black's turn. Yeah, this is over. So we can't cut there first for this problem. Which is why when white plays here, black immediately responds there and takes this turn. And it's really why white plays here first rather than here.
So at this point, white is maybe still a little weak in there. Does he want to maybe chase that black stone a little bit?
This one?
Well,
Or which black?
Tarry on the inside one, and looking at getting eye space here. Does he have to get eye space?
Yeah, but remember, if we make these 2 stronger, these get weaker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we have to be very careful. And I think this is one of Hashimoto's mistakes coming out. This one, this move's really important or really big. I'm not sure it's what white should play right now. Because white's thinking, oh, look at all the pressure I'm putting on these stones. I can keep up the pressure. I spent a move here to make myself safer. I extended here to make myself safer here. I now need to turn on this and put some pressure on it.
I was wondering if it might be maybe better to go in just on the fourth one right there. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems something like this would be the natural kind of.
Natural to our modern
Yeah.
instincts.
But he wants to get away with this first. The problem is, black's going to continue getting stronger the same way he got stronger before. Right, which is leaning on this. White's like, okay, that's okay, I can get stronger too. We can both get stronger together, that's okay, right? But it's black's move now. And black's like, hey, I'm strong enough once again.
Yeah.
Let's play here. And again, white's like, hey, you didn't respond up here. I get another free move against this thing. Black's like, don't care, I'm strong enough. I'm out. And at this point, white's going, okay, now you seem to live. You're out. I got my free move here. I got my free move here. Right? These 2 stones are powerful. If these stones are strong, we can come back in here and attack the stick, or this later. We can continue putting pressure on this. This is useful. And obviously these 2 are useful. We can actually maybe build something here. Black, of course, connects. White plays this wedge. Black just keeps everything connected. Black really can't lose these stones, because then all the pressure will be off this, and then won't be able to attack this later. And here, I think this move is a mistake, and I'll happily let a stronger player online tell me it's not. But in my own reading, in my own skill level, white plays here, and I think this move is bad. And I'll tell you why it's bad in a moment. See if you can see for yourself. What is white trying to do here?
Be alive.
Stay alive, right? What do you think black's response is to this move?
Targeting the corner. For free.
This one? But then white's gonna play this one.
Okay. Come down then.
Yes, black's gonna play here. And now all of a sudden, I think without this exchange, there's still an eye here, right?
Yeah.
So if we don't actually need this move to make this into an eye. This move is very greedy, it's like gets you one extra point. But the other thing it does is if we don't respond over here, white can play here next. And this almost guarantees two eyes, depending on black's reaction here. If black is greedy and just wants the corner territory right now, we just got ourselves two eyes, right? In Sente, that's a bit. If I mean, black's probably never going to respond to this in Gote. But I'm just showing you that black can't. Black just has to back off. Like we can get a little. What I'm saying is by exchanging here, this move isn't so good anymore. But in game, white plays here, black extends, and now all of a sudden, if we were to try the same thing, we have this problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, because black has a stone here now, so black can link up, or black can make a false eye that way.
He better just come straight down.
It is, and that's what he plays in the game.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, if it's a mistake, it's a small one, but this I'm not sure what this exchange really gets us. It just feels like a really bad exchange to give black an extra stone over here. Particularly because if later on we're really, let's say we end up with two eyes like this, white just plays there. Later on, when it's time to attack this again, doesn't this seem like a nice point? Like if we have to live in Gote anyway, just live in Gote, here or here, probably there. And then later on you can play stuff like this, which will help set up this side. So anyway, I think that's a very bad exchange for white. Black's next move, here. All right, so what's going on this board?
Well, white's got
This is not here. Erase that stone from the last 5 minutes of your brain.
white's got that weak L in the middle there, which needs to find somewhere to live.
Yeah, this stone really makes you feel bad about it.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Black has a group that is out and is going to have an easier time running to find friends than white's group.
You have this stone and that stone as friends. These are best friends now. This stone is very helpful for this group.
White's got something like a Moyo in the upper left-hand side.
Yeah, this is not nothing though.
Yeah.
That's some sort of potential. Are there any problems with this area?
So undercut a little bit.
It's undercut a lot. It's undercut a lot. I mean, black can just play there directly, right? Well, even if we want these all as points, it's immediately destroyed up to here. And if black wants more, if this is Sente, we don't even have to connect first. We can just start building this way, and if we have to run back, we can run back. And all of a sudden, this becomes a target.
Yeah.
So in this position, if this is entirely safe, and this is entirely safe, and this is just basically profit, and all black has to worry about is this, while white still has to worry about this and this, this is a tough game for white already. Like white has lost a tempo, and feels like white's already a move behind. This almost feels like a two-stone game, or at least the position you find out of a two-stone game. Remember how white's trying to continuously short the liberties on this thing?
Not
He
done.
hasn't given up the dream. The dream will not die. Wedge.
Yeah.
Except I was thinking, That's maybe taking the short range view. I was wondering if maybe it might be better to jump out a little bit further.
Yes,
And try
yeah.
to catch them later.
I'm totally with you. I think this is another mistake. And I'm not sure if because, Hashimoto Utaro is already feeling like he's behind, he needs to do something, or just because he's a kid and he's brash and he just wants to fight and he sees a Tsuji and he wants to use it. Because you'll see how this plays. There is a nice little kind of quasi Tsuji. It's a very greedy Tsuji. Oh, this kind of is the Tsuji. But what black has to Atari this way, and black makes shape this way, and lo and behold, there's your Tsuji. All right, if you do this Atari is really nice because it just kills everything. All right, no choice, must connect. And boom! Look at this, how I just made this wall even bigger. Tsuji. But what's the problem here?
White's never going to be free again in this game.
It's just we didn't solve any of this problem. In fact, we almost made it worse.
Yeah. Especially because when black needs to gain more liberties for that group, he can just like come out on top of that white.
Yeah,
we
we saw
been doing the whole time.
The exact same situation as we've had, like for the last 30 moves. Right? Nothing has changed. Black needs to continuously lean on this to ensure the safety of this.
White is looking more and more desperate there.
It is, but man, this look just greedy? There's another problem with this, and again, and it's not just that, we're hurting ourselves over here a little bit. It's that there's a cut here and there's a cut here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so very shortly you'll see how that works out for white. All right, black turns. Again, black only has 3 liberties still, right? We're still squeezing the group, so we're still going to continue pushing this thing.
This would look like a good time to fix one of those cuts, no?
Well, if we do, we kind of have a problem over here. If we fix a cut,
Yeah.
game's over.
Well, white can get more liberties on those isolated stones, and then I'm wanting.
Yeah, and so white does this right. White does this right now. It's like, okay, I need help, I need help, I need help, I need help. Ah, we got a free move.
No, wrong way.
Well,
An extra liberty for free.
Well, no, I think he could do better than that.
But yeah, he also has center.
probably, but this is how this
That's
is.
how they went, yeah.
All right, white plays here.
Yeah.
Again, hey, we're gonna threaten. Hey, I can come split you, right? You let me do this, and then I can maybe take advantage of this weakness. I can totally do that. Right, black, right, black. Maybe. Let's take profit. Stay safe. All black has to do right now is keep this safe, and white's gonna be under pressure, so black will have time to come back and take profit. White plays here.
Whoa.
It's a little greedy, but it's a really big move.
Was it really necessary as far as keeping the left-hand side or the right-hand side?
Now here's the problem. If black plays here, remember that original dream of black owning this
Oh,
side?
Yeah,
That becomes a real dream again.
okay.
This, yeah. That beautiful move that white played to break up the whole, to help
I feel like
stabilize
white's
it.
been playing like that group in the middle has 2 eyes this whole time.
It feels that way, doesn't
He's
it?
been like,
Like-
this is really strong, I don't care.
That's right. White continues that feeling. Black says, okay. Okay. White's all, no, I got this. Hold my beer. We can live right here. Aha, put more pressure on this. Let's jump out. This is all kind of natural, right? You can see it's all about this thing. It's all about this thing. After black jumps out, white's like, oh no, my dream. It's evaporating. We must
I half
protect.
expected him to wedge.
Yeah.
He's been just taking
Oh,
liberties.
wedge
away
right here? Yeah, this is...
He's been taking liberties away from that group the whole game, so
Oh, man.
why not keep on going?
Yeah, there's no time for this. Black just cuts.
Yeah, if you can read that.
I mean, yeah, it seems like that last white move was just too far away and got scared or something.
He's just playing, he just loses focus.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's been several mistakes that have sort of accumulated, right? Here, and probably this wedge and then this poke Tetsuji follow-up. White's just sort of losing momentum all over the place. Oops, I missed a white move. White Atari is this way, so black cuts this way. White plays here. Black extends. As of this moment, oh sorry, white plays one more. Black could just capture these, right?
Yeah.
That's a pretty big profit, and that would also just completely secure the center. But black's like, nope. Bigger. Right? Keep pressure on this thing, and if this thing dies, game is over. Even if this thing lives, look at what black is threatening to build now with the help of these two stones. It keeps going. Aha, we can live. Just keep it corralled. Many of your gamers can probably relate to this, where you just have a weak group that's sort of looking for shape and scrambling around. It's totally a thing. And black is just keep it corralled. Not really trying to kill, just keeping pressure on. This is really good, just classic attacking skill. Keep pressure, stay solid, don't give your opponent any weaknesses to exploit. White's, aha, I made an eye shape. It's like, doesn't matter, just keep pressure, keep building. If black, plays one move here, maybe one move around here, that's already, I don't know how many points, but way more than black needs to win the game.
So is white kind of falling behind as black is trying to push black around?
Oh yeah. This secures life for the group. And with that, black plays this move. Says, mine. And so in the end, right, or the game's not quite over yet, we'll play a little more. But in the end of all this fighting, black was actually able to turn this into points, right? Which black already had an extra move down here, so we expect some points, but all of a sudden, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's close to 20 points. Black has potential for another easy 20 points right here. One move is 20 points. Black still has the corner. This has been undamaged. Black all of a sudden has another possible 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 30 to 35 points there. It's possible. And white's gained, optimistically, maybe 7 points here. Over here, it's 20 points, maybe a little bit more here. But at any time, black can come back and take another 10 to 15. So this fight, this is just, has given black so many opportunities on the outside, right? To help here, to help here. White's got to try something. White's now strong. Remember how Chris said this? Well, it's like white's been playing with a 2-eye group the whole time. Well, now he does, so he can start doing stuff like this. Black responds this way, just the most threatening way. Let's move this move. And white's is trying to reduce this from growing huge. This is a common shape in the corner. You guys ever played this one? It's very nice. Here, if your opponent covers you like this, one of the responses is to play it. And if your opponent plays this to capture your stone, hey, you get to play here for free. In this case, black doesn't take, black plays here. And so it just gives you a couple extra little moves on the outside, even though you start on the inside. That's usually what you get. White's is trying to expand the corner. What is black getting when white tries to expand? Just as much, if not more. Nothing too exciting for Endgame for these moves.
This time the clock through on 13E.
Over here, you want to
Yeah.
cut? Like this?
Yeah.
This is not much.
Get a few points.
Yeah, it's a cente reduction, but not a lot.
Other than
So white comes back over here, looking for something on the side. Of course, black says no. You can't have all these side points. Black just makes shape. White has to connect back through. And Black plays here. All of a sudden, this corner is getting really small. Like notice, basically no one got points over here, right? This whole side turned into nothing. But black is totally fine with that because black got most of the entire top. White plays here. This is actually a really big endgame move. Again, to curl around here, it's probably 10 to 15 points for either player. And if black were to get this, right, black can expand and do things. This is basically Sente. So this is kind of like a reverse Sente-ish kind of move. But black plays there to finish off this, and white resigns.
So what's the prospects down in the lower right corner?
For white or for black? Because
White would be well advised to grab something down there.
well, white needs a move. I think black's next move is this one. You guys seen this kind of move here? This move's a pain in the ass. Because if white tries to cut the stone off, what happens?
Yes.
And then?
And then if white connects, black extends. Yeah.
If we do this, I'm not sure if this works, but even this is just easy enough, right?
Yeah.
Like the stone that you tried to cut off just dies,
Yeah.
and black can still poke through here. If we back off, oops, that's there. So if when black attaches here, if we back off, any problem? Oh, black can just back off. So black can still go this way or connect this way. And the problem is white's not entirely alive yet. White needs another move. Especially since this move falsifies this eye. So even if white thinks, they can make an eye here somehow, which they can't anyway, but if they imagine they could, it still turns into a false eye. So why we need to keep playing this corner? Because this is just profit. If white doesn't have time to keep adding moves out here, right, then black will get even more this way, or at least this way, a little bit more. Yeah, this is kind of a killer shape. When you have a stick on the outside, your opponent has this little not quite right triangle that's being poked at. This is your key point. We should just practice making this shape on the board, and you're just instinctively, intuitively looking for this point. All right, 1, 2, 3 with a stick, poke, other side. So anyway, for white's prospects, white really needs another move like this. But even then, it's still a problem.
Well, at this point, white wants to poke in there, start separating.
This way?
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible. I'm not even sure black has to block, right? Black can play something like this instead and threaten to capture this stone.
But once that stone, I'd say let him have it.
If we should do this. But if this stone's captured, this is all alive, right? Like there's no... This group doesn't need to connect to this group.
Well, if he posts, that.
Yeah. I mean, you can reduce a little bit.
Even more narrowly, if he runs up on the 14 line, you're saying that the, okay, so,
I'm saying that this group is already alive.
yeah, okay, but I would say if black goes after that one stone,
Oh, this one down here?
yeah, okay, white connects, on the, right there, yeah. And then, black pulls up.
Huh?
Yeah. Okay, so can white maybe push towards the edge and catch anything?
No, it's not.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, there's actually in this case, after this liberty gets filled in, these
Yeah.
two stones have a little bit of a problem.
Might be a good time to try to drop down into there.
Looks like, does this work? This move?
Yeah, I don't know if that works. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that works.
Take.
Yes.
Going full tombstone.
Tombstone, throw in. Take. Atari. Take. Fill. At least this play there.
Yeah.
Does black need to fill though? Does black care?
No, black doesn't. But I'm just.
So you're saying 100 years ago we might have been able to.
Black's fine. Yeah. Well, anyway. This is a cool shape. Right. You have a stick that's poking it like this thing. There's actually a lot of weak points, but that's one of them, right? Okay. That type of thing.
Tiger can look at somebody else.
The tiger's mouth with. There's also a weak point here and a weak point here too, for that matter. Actually, in certain cases, this is also a weak point. Just clamp. Black has stuff over here. So anyway, yeah, this is a weakness. Like if you see this type of shape, right? Like where there's a panuki, but one of the stones is one of your opponent's stones. There are weaknesses. Like let your spider sense just like tingle. Like okay, there's something here. Start looking for it. Okay, so anyway, I think there's a couple of really good lessons in this game, right? The first of which is remember that beginning, the symmetrical beginning. Even though black won the game, it was really just because white's hubris and got a little bit ahead of himself, maybe on the squeeze or attack. So even though black made this, in theory, really bad symmetrical shape, because the Joseki wasn't so severe, he found the time to play right in the middle, and he took that key point. And from that point forward, white never really felt in command, right, even during these squeezing sequences. And then white over-squeezed over here with this, maybe over-squeezed just in general the very first time. Maybe didn't play the most efficient shape here on the bottom to make eye space quickly.
So this was an emerging mastering.
This is before, yeah, he was one of the masters of 20th century Go.
He kept leaving that group in the middle alone. It's like,
Hey,
strong. I don't need to play there.
He's like, look, man. 30 years from now, I'm going to be the master of this game. I can do whatever I want.
With another 30 years of experience and analysis.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, things did not work out for Hashimoto Utaro on this day in 1918. But it's got some good things to learn, just about getting symmetrical positions and over squeezing your opponent, making sure your stones are safe before you go on the attack, not leaving your weak groups. If you're going to be abandoning your weak groups, you have to abandon them, like for realsies. Like not half abandon them, half save them, right? If you get wishy-washy and start doing this sort of thing.
Just like one more move, though. Just like one more move.
Just like
Just
one
like one more move.
Yeah, that's right.
I was wondering maybe.
In a lot of respects, you always think, well, maybe a little bit more won't hurt.
Yeah.
A little bit more, but then it adds up.
I've done it myself when I think I'm already losing, and then I'll just go for the overplay where I'm leaving the group behind, and I'm like, well, look, I'm already losing.
Yeah, exactly.
I need the big moves.
And maybe that's what happened in this game. Maybe like move 40, Hashimoto was like, well, I fucked up. Let's just do this thing.
Honestly, I was thinking that the whole time because of the way, he felt like he had to leave those stones alone in order to win. Because if black just gets strong in the center, then everything that he's worked for
It's
is
true.
going to map to 0 point.
Yeah. So, that's very reasonable, yeah. Plausible. So anyway, I feel like, going back 100 years is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe next year, or next week we'll go back 200 years. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Records in there.
I don't know what the earliest completed Go record is, but I saw this like at a US Go Congress at some point. We had some Japanese pro, I can't remember her name, who was an expert in old games, And he showed some of the earliest Go records they had, and they were only maybe about 30 moves in the record.
Because the record was incomplete? Or
The record was incomplete,
Everybody
yeah.
just surrendered really soon back
No, the game was presumed not to be over.
They just rage quit.
But they only recorded the first 30 moves or something.
Oh.
And I don't remember how many years ago it was.
250 AD is the earliest
There you
recorded
go.
Go game.
250 AD.
Yeah.
Does it say how many moves were recorded in that?
No.
Yeah.
Woo diagrams is what it says.
I thought one of the earliest ones was like 900.
Not the whole game.
Yeah.
Not the whole game.
Maybe that's the first completely recorded game.
Yeah.
I'm not a Go historian.
That's from back when they had those paintings of the guys just flipping the go.
That's right.
But someone did a very clever analysis, tracking the trajectories of the pieces and dragged them back to the.
Yeah, the 30 pieces on the board. Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, my concluding thought is, again, like, man, Go is still Goville, right? Like, no matter, who you're with or where you are or when you are, that's still Go. That's pretty cool. That's why aliens also play Go.